Welcome, friends, to the world of spiritual insight where wisdom flows through the timeless art of parables. A parable is not just a story, it is not to entertain you but to enlighten you. This is the difference between an ordinary story and a parable. A parable has a message in it, a coded message in it. You will have to decode it. The parable's significance is eternal, its significance is not momentary. In fact, it is more significant than your so called facts because facts have a limited impact. A parable is something that happens in timelessness, it remains relevant. Parables have eternal messages in them, something so eternal that time cannot make them irrelevant. No passage of time can make them irrelevant. So, friends, today I am sharing with you all my first parable. Please listen to this parable up to the last so that you will get the message hidden in this parable. There was a lioness who was jumping from one hillock to another hillock, and between the two hillocks, a big flock of sheep was moving. The lioness was pregnant and gave birth while she was jumping. Her cub fell into the flock of sheep, was brought up by the sheep, and naturally he believed himself also to be a sheep. It was a little strange because he was so big, so different, but perhaps he was just a freak of nature. He was vegetarian. He grew up, and one day an old lion who was in search of food came close to the flock of sheep, and he could not believe his eyes. In the midst of the sheep, there was a young lion in its full glory, and the sheep was not afraid. He forgot about his food, he ran after the flock of sheep, and it was becoming more and more puzzling because the young lion was also running away with the sheep. Finally, he got hold of the young lion. He was crying and weeping and saying to the old lion, "Please let me go with my people." But the old lion dragged him to a nearby lake, a silent lake without any ripples. It was just a pure mirror, and the old lion forced him to see his reflection in the lake and also the reflection of the old lion. There was a sudden transformation. The moment the young lion saw who he was, there was a great roar. The whole valley echoed the roar of the young lion. He had never roared before because he had never thought that he was anybody other than a sheep. The old lion said, "My work is done. Now it is up to you. Do you want to go back to your own flock?" The young lion laughed. He said, "Forgive me, I had completely forgotten who I am. And I am immensely grateful to you that you helped me to remember." So, friends, you simply need to remember that you are not part of this mundane world. Your home is the home of the divine. You are lost in forgetfulness.